All right, today we are going to look at pie charts, and we are going to read and interpret pie charts with data given as fractions. So we are going to get into fraction mode. We're going to remember that for fractions we need to have like or the same denominators. Remember, denominators are the down. If it's like 1/2, the numerator is on top and denominator is on bottom. So remember that the denominators need to be the same. So look at number 3. A group of 40 boys were asked to choose toast, cereal, pancake, or eggs for breakfast on a certain day. The pie chart represents their choices. So if you look at this, that equals a whole, or 1. What type of breakfast did most students have on that day? Well, that's pretty obvious. It's over half. So number 1 would be toast. What fraction of the students had eggs for breakfast? So what we're going to need to do is we're going to make sure that we change all of these denominators so that we can figure out what fraction had eggs. So if we have 3/5, 1/4, and 1/10. What number can we change the denominator to that they all go into? Well, 5 goes into 10 evenly, but does 4 go into 10 evenly? No. Let's skip count by 10 since that's the biggest. 10, 20. Does 4 go into 20? Yes. Does 5 go into 20? Yes. So it looks like the 20th is going to be our denominator. So let me erase this a little. I want to keep this up here. So let's change them all to 20ths. So 3/5 equals how many 20ths? 5 times what equals 20? 5 times 4, so whatever you did to the bottom, you do to the top. So that's going to be 12 20ths. So 12 20ths. Now we need to change 1/10 to 20ths. So what did I do to get 20? I multiplied by 2, so that's 2 20ths. And what did I multiply to get 20? 4 times 5. So multiply the top times 5. So here we go. Now we have 12 20ths. All right, so now what we need to do is we need to find out what fraction is eggs. So if the whole is 20 20ths, I'm going to take away 12 20ths and get 8 20ths. So I've taken away the toast. So now we have 8 20ths minus, let's subtract the 5 20ths, equals 3 20ths. And now we need to take away the pancakes. 3 20ths minus 2 20ths equals 1 20th. So the eggs equals 1 20th. So that is for B. What fraction of students had eggs for breakfast? 1 20th. How many students had toast for breakfast? Well, we know that it's out of 40, so we just multiply 3/5 times 40. And that's going to be over 1, so we're going to have 120 over 5. Divide that by 120 divided by 5. Goes in there 2 times. 24 students. And then what percentage of students had cereal for breakfast? Cereal, 1/4. We should automatically know that that is 25%. Think of quarters. Oops. All right, let's look at task number 4. The students in a school were asked to name their favorite subjects. The pie chart represents their choices. So what do we know if there's a right angle? How many pieces are there? How many pieces of English are there? 4. Yes. What fraction of students liked mathematics? Well, that's pretty obvious, right? It's half. Now, in this case, I know I've said before, don't trust my drawings. Don't trust my drawings, but a drawing that is from a textbook, you can trust that. That is exactly a half. What percentage of students liked English? Well, we know that that's 1/4 because it has that right angle. So what percentage? 1/4 equals 25%. That one just should be a memorization. Think of quarters again. What fraction of students liked science? So we know that here is a half. So if we need to combine 1/8, 1/4, and 1/2. What is the common denominator of all of them? Does 2 go into 4? Yes. Does 2 go into 8? Yep. So 8ths are going to be the common denominator. So 1/2 equals 4/8. 1/4 equals 2/8. So we have 2/8, 3/8, 3/8 plus 4/8 is 7/8. So what is left? If a whole is 8/8 and you take away 7/8, 1/8 is left. Now you can kind of actually, you know what you could have done is, since we know this is half, this is a 4th, these two would have to equal up to a 4th. So an 1/8 plus an 1/8 is 2/8 or a 4th. So what fraction? 1/8. Sorry, there's a lot of commotion going on at our house. If 1,200 students liked mathematics, how many students liked English? So it would just be half of that, because 1/4 is half of a half. So what is half of 1,200? 600. Exercise 5 is your homework. Let me get you started on the homework. Exercise 5. There are 200 vehicles in a parking lot. The pie chart represents the number of each type of vehicle. Express the number of each type of vehicle as a fraction of the total number of vehicles and write each fraction on the pie chart. So they already have vans there. We know that there are 200 total, and there were 50 vans. So 50 of 200, I can take off the zeros, and then I can divide 5 into 5, which will equal 1. 5 into 20, which equals 4. So that's where they got 1/4. So you're going to do the same thing with cars. 80 over 200 and reduce it. Motorcycles, 40 over 200, reduce it. And trucks, 30 over 200. So again, just put the fractions there in reduced form. Next page. A group of 400 adults were asked how often they jog in a week. The pie chart shows the results. So again, make sure that you are using 400. What fraction of adults jog 3 times a week? It actually just gives you it right there. And then look at once a week and 5 times a week. Since there's that right angle, we know that it's 1/4. I just gave it away. Hopefully not everyone heard that. All right, there's the next page. And here's the final page. A group of 180 students were asked to choose the club they would like to join. The pie chart represents their choices. So answer the questions. This isn't an assignment, so just take a picture and send it to me. There's only a couple of you that are working from home, so just send me your answers. Good luck. Lesson 6, percentage pie charts. We are going to be reading and interpreting pie charts with data given as percentages. We're also going to create a percentage pie chart. Let's take a look. A group of 200 students were asked to name their favorite sport. The pie chart represents their choices. A, why don't you do A, B, C, D on your own, pause this, and then come back for the answers. A, which was the most popular sport? Well, I see that swimming is 35, baseball's 30, here's 20. Let's make sure that we know what percent basketball is, although we know it's not going to be over 30, but let's just figure that out quick. So a whole would be 100%. Take away 30%. We have 70 left, so I'm done with baseball. Take away swimming. I can't take 5 away from 0, so I'm going to have to borrow. 10 minus 5 is 5. 6 minus 3 is 3. Done with swimming. Take away track and field. And we have 15 left. So basketball is going to be 15%. So what was the most popular sport? Swimming. What percent of the students chose basketball? 15%. How many students chose baseball? Now we need to remember back to the unit or the percent. Are we going to multiply with units or percent? So we have 200 students. When we put it 200 over 100, when we cross off the zeros, we get 2. So I'm going to multiply 30 times 2, which equals 60. Remember, if we did the fraction way, it would be 30%, but in the decimal, 0.30 times 200. But I chose to do the units way because I saw that I could just cross off the zeros and end up with 2. So 60. What fraction of the students chose swimming? 35%. The fraction would be 35 over 100. If I reduced that, I see that 5 goes into both of them evenly. 5 goes into 35 7 times. 5 goes into 100 20 times. So 7/20. All right, let's look at number 6. Mrs. Gray spent some money on clothes. The pie chart shows how the money was spent. Now, here's a trick. I can tell that this is half. So if this is half, and I know that skirts is 15%, half is going to be 50%. If I take 15 away, I need to borrow because I can't take 5 away from 0. Now I can. 10 minus 5 is 5. 4 minus 1 is 3. Shirts is going to be 35%. Same thing with this side. If this was 50%, this is going to be 50% as well. So 50% minus 20, which equals 30. All right, so what did Mrs. Gray spend the most amount of money on? Shirts, 35%. Good job, Mr. Berger. What percentage money was spent on shirts? So what percentage? 35%. What percentage of money was spent on pants? 30%. That's it. Now go on to exercise 6. Again, this is not on Canvas, so just complete the worksheet and send it to me as an attachment.